This is the story of a man named Stanley, and Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. The thing to do now, Stanley thought to himself, is to wait. Nothing will hurt me. Nothing will break me. In here I can be happy forever. I will be happy. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up and stepped out of his office. At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death. Genius! What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out? No, here, and then...
The day of the crime, the father went to the trunk of his car, retrieved the rifle...
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. When Stanley... Wait, what? No, I restarted. I swear I definitely restarted the game over, completely fresh. Everything should be... Hold on. Why am I asking you? I'm the one who wrote the story. It was right here just a minute ago. I know for sure that it's here somewhere. No, wait, never mind. Not the story. Okay, let's head back the other way and retrace our steps. Now this... Well, I'll be honest, I don't recognize this place at all. Is this the story? Okay, Stanley, I need to follow this train of thought for a minute. Just stick with me. I can promise you there definitely was a story here before. Do we need to restart the game again? Well, I find it unlikely that we'll ever progress by starting over and over again. But it's got to be better than this. Okay, let's give it a shot. Why not? Tell you what, let me take a stab in the dark at a new design and you can give me some feedback. Okay, yep, it's worse. I might be remembering this wrong. It's possible the story is back where we just came from. Yes! I don't even know what this game is, but I love it. Okay, I'm getting weirded out by whatever this place is. I don't care what might happen this time. I have to restart. You know what? I think what we need right now is a bit of music to lighten the mood. Step forward. 2, 3, 4. Wait, cut the music, go back and look at that fern. No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange, this can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. Stanley was fat and ugly and really stupid. Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers. Please, Stanley, think about what you're doing. You heard me before, didn't you? You will die! What about this isn't getting through to you? That kind of anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed for a few moments with some calming New Age music. Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway. At first, Stanley assumed he'd broken the map until he heard this narration and realized it was part of the game's design all along. He then praised the game for its insightful and witty commentary into the nature of video game structure and its examination of structural narrative tropes. Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track. As it is, he's literally just standing there doing sweet FA. Are you really still in the broom closet? Standing around doing nothing? Why? You do realize there's no choice or anything in here, right? If I'd said Stanley walked past the broom closet, at least you would have had a reason for exploring it to find out. Maybe to you this is somehow its own branching path. Maybe when you go talk about this with your friends, you'll say, I now understand the true manifestation of this game. It needs a puppy, in addition to the baby. Ah, good to see both the puppy and the baby are still alive. It warms my heart to see how deeply the message of this game has resonated with you. I can only imagine the joy welling up in your chest, the sheer joy of such pure distilled life essence flowing through your veins. It must be amazing. I'm jealous of you, truly I am. No, seriously, I'm deeply envious of your position at this very moment. Nearly there, Stanley. Art itself is about to burrow into your skull. Aren't you excited for spiritual immortality? If we just stay right here, right in this moment with this place, Stanley, I think I feel happy. I actually feel happy. Here, yes. Oh, it's beautiful, isn't it? Do you just not believe me? What can I say to convince you? There, see? This is what you want. This is where we can both be happy. We really can. If we stop moving, we just have to stop moving. All right, when you've done that, just step out into the hallway. Stanley, go back. There's nothing good that can come from this. The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track. Nope, still on board with death. Oh my, it looks like it's going to get a bit dark. Have you brought a light? What is this game even supposed to be? I can't figure it out. Okay, now I'm curious. Let's go find out what the hell this is. Wow, yes, this room. What a beautiful room. What a gorgeous, gorgeous room. But at last, he'd had enough of the amazing room and took the first open door on his left to get back to business. It's a puzzle. Critical thinking, Stanley. Your forte. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers. Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way. No, wait. Where are you going? I can't go back to what I was before. If you die, we'll both go back. Why are you doing this? You heard me before, didn't you? You will die. What about this isn't getting through to you? And so he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. So now, according to the schedule, I restart again. Then what? Am I just supposed to forget? Well, what if I don't want to forget? My mind goes blank simply because it's written here on this thing, wall. Here, based on the data from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version. And to be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one. Let's take a look.
I walked. I could do nothing but walk. And then...
Well, Stanley, is this any better?
Walking in front of myself. But
Genius!
watch out. The gap in the door. It's a separate reality.
That's really how all this
The only me
goes?
is me.
It's all
Are you sure the
determined?
only me is you?
Well, do you know what? since I've completely forgotten what we were supposed to be doing, how about this? You win! Congratulations! I know you put in a lot of hard work, and it really paid off, so good job. Oh, no, I don't feel right about this at all. We both know you didn't put in any actual work for that win. Some people win fair and square, and this was not one of those situations.
Don't touch that dial now. We're just getting started.
Aha! I knew we'd missed something. The story. Here it comes. You're telling me that's what this is? It's all one giant ending? And we're supposed to restart the game, what, eight times? No, it can't be. I don't want it to be. I don't want the game to keep restarting. I don't want to forget what's going on. I don't want to be trapped like this. I won't restart the game. I won't do it. I won't do it. I won't do it. I guess now we just wait. You know, I suppose in some way that this is a kind of story. Wouldn't you agree? I'm not quite sure if we're in the destination or the journey. Though they're always saying that life is about the journey and not the destination. So I hope that's where we are right now. We'll find out, won't we? Eventually. So, okay. I'll say it. This is the worst adventure I've ever been on. Okay, from the top. Okay. We just have to get back to, oh. Who am I kidding? It's all rubbish now. The whole story completely unusable. When Stanley... Wait, what? How about, rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning. And this time, suppose we don't wander so far off track, No, I restarted. I swear I definitely restarted the game over, completely fresh. Everything should be... Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the emergency detonation system. Without proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are set to explode, eliminating the entire complex. How long until detonation then? Let's say, 2 minutes. Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time. But there is no answer. How could there possibly be? And I'm trying to tell him this, that in this world he can never be anything but an observer, that as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself. But he won't listen to me. He won't stop. Well, I don't know how to say this politely, but you could literally just hit escape and restart the game any old time you want, like right now. You could have done it just then. Now would also be an appropriate time to quit. Any of these points and so many, many more, all of them are appropriate. I'm enjoying what seems to be an internal conflict going on where you are literally unable to act on your own desires to restart the game. So, just to push the envelope, I'm going to try and make this as miserable as possible and see how long you can maintain. There once was a man named Stanley, who people considered so manly. But the truth must be told, he was not very old and was quite particularly gangly. What Stanley liked most was buttons. He pushed them like some kind of glutton. He did it all day in a meaningful way, but his brain had long ceased to function. Which is why he is in this parable and lives an existence quite terrible. And if you are not strong and keep playing along, you too will become quite unbearable. You too will become quite unbearable.
When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start? What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish?
As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now and it'll be your only true choice. Whatever you do, choose it. Don't let time choose for you. Don't let time choose for you.
This is why Stanley and I are on such good terms. So far, he's doing excellent, and if he just stays right where he is, I'm sure he'll keep up that good momentum. Let's observe the genius at work. Wait a second. Did I just see... No, that's not possible. I can't believe it. How had I not noticed it sooner? You're not Stanley. You're a real person. I can't believe I was so mistaken. This is why you've been able to make correct and incorrect choices. And to think I've been letting you run around in this game for so long. If you'd made any more wrong choices, you might have negated it entirely. It's as though you completely ignored even the most basic safety protocol for real-world decision-making. Or did you not grasp the severity of the situation? Well, I won't have that kind of risk on my watch. I'm going to stop the game for a moment so we can educate you properly on safe decision-making in the real world. Please observe this helpful instructional video. Welcome back. You may have noticed that this room has begun to deteriorate as a result of narrative contradiction. But not to worry. Now that you're properly informed on good decision-making, we're going to revisit a choice you made just a few minutes ago and see what the correct thing to do would have been. This way, please. We just need to get you home as soon as possible before the narrative contradiction gets any worse. Unfortunately, it seems this place is not well equipped to deal with reality. If what he wanted was to be the leading man in his own story, well, perhaps he's gotten it, down in wherever he is right now. You can't teach that, Stanley. Don't even try. The end will be here soon. Very soon. I still don't think we're communicating properly. Stanley this, Stanley that. Stanley this, Stanley that. Stanley this, Stanley that. Stanley this, Stanley that. And I think I have a solution. Here, let me show you. Don't you see that it's killing us, Stanley? I want it to stop. We would both be so much happier if we just stopped. What do we want? What are we looking for? Not a living soul anywhere. Could he really be all alone? This was too much for Stanley to take. Too much for any man to take. Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs. Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence. I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley, I'm trying to get you to see something. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her. This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself, to put your work aside, to let her back into your life. You see? Can he just not hear me? How can I tell him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself? Maybe you're just getting a kick out of it. I don't know anymore. I just wanted us to get along. But I guess that was too much to ask. I'll just be waiting for when you're ready to pick up the story again.
Choice. It's the best part of being a real person. But if used incorrectly, can also be the most dangerous. For example, in this scenario, a hypothetical real person named Stephen has a choice. He could spend years helping improve the quality of life for citizens of impoverished third world nations. Or he could systematically set fire to every orphan living in a 30-kilometer radius of his house. Which choice would you make? Remember that unlike here, the real world makes sense, and at no time should you make a choice that does not conform to rational logic. Excellent. Making choices on a regular basis is the best part to a healthy decision-making process. Most medical professionals recommend making at least 8 choices per day. Do you make more than 8? Less? And finally, if you begin to wonder if your choices are actually meaningful and whether you'll ever make a significant contribution to the world, just remember that in the vast infiniteness of space, your thoughts and problems are materially insignificant, and the feeling should subside. At this time, your instructor will guide you in an exercise to test and reinforce the material covered in this video.
Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. You know, any level of critical thinking or engagement with your surroundings, does that sound good? Think we can do that? Yes? Wonderful. Oh, I'm here. I'm still here. Here in this pile of rubbish. With you. You, who thought you were so clever. Now look where we are. My entire game is destroyed. It was the only thing in the world that was mine, and you've run it into the ground. It would have been so perfect. I worked so hard on it. I tried so hard to make... I asked you for this one single thing, for your respect. The kind of respect Stanley shows for his choices. He knows what it means to take a story seriously. You know what? To hell with it. He'll understand soon what I was trying to tell him. He needs me. Someone who will wrap everything up at the end to make sense out of the chaos and the fear and the confusion. That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this, to reach out to her. If you can truly place your faith in another, then pick up the phone.
Oh, Stanley, is that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven. All right. Okay, there we go. All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about your day.
Gotcha. Oh, come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife who'd want to commit their life to you? No, wait. Stanley, where are you? Don't go anywhere. I can't follow you there. I can't help you. You need to come back. You need to... No, just stay there. I'll find a way to get you out.
Every day he'd eat the same.
I haven't even finished building this section of the map because you were never supposed to be here in the first place. Broken rooms, exposed developer textures. Is this what you had wanted? Was it worth ruining the entire story I had written out specifically for you? Do you not think I put a lot of time into that? Because I did. All right, fine, go ahead, Stanley. You want to know so badly what's out there? You want to find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen? Well, don't let me stop you. You see, there's nothing here. And in the end, it was all for nothing, because this is what you wanted to see. This is not a challenge. It's a tragedy. You wanted to control this world, that's fine. But I'm going to destroy it first, so you can't. What did you want to see? Vehicles? Skill trees? Work with me. You've given me absolutely nothing so far. After they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is that what you wanted? Control? I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, there's only so much that machine can do. So, why don't you get cozy in this room, and if you have any grand revolutionary ideas for the perfect video game, you can just sit there and let it ball up inside you for all eternity. Finish it off, Stanley! I want this achievement to have meant something. It has to be a true reward for valiant effort. I want to see some hustle, Stanley. I want to see commitment, a willingness to go all the way, no matter what the cost. No! Please, no, Stanley, let me stay here. Don't take this from me. I know you'll see that we can't be happy if we leave this place. You can see that, can't you? What's that? You'd like to know where your co-workers are. A moment of solace before you're obliterated. Is it over? It's going to restart, isn't it? I'm going back. What could it mean? Was it a sign of hope for Stanley's future? No, perhaps not. Do you actually want to stay alive? Or are you just teasing me? Please take your time.